out of space. So I don't know where this one sits. I had actually made the entire setup in another place. And then just as I was about to sit down at 4:59, it says, oh, set up in another place. There's no, and then just as I was about to sit down at 4:59, it says there's no power on that computer, and it refused to power up. So here we are. Oh, well. And ready to begin. Okay, so a very warm welcome to everybody, and thank you for being here. And as a matter of fact, this particular topic was something that was asked for, and as somebody asked for it, I was thinking about it to say, I've already, today's topic is humiliation. And I was kind of looking at it and saying, but I've already covered shame and embarrassment and all of that. And then it kind of clicked to me that there is a little bit of difference. And so as I begin to understand this humiliation and now to look at the energy perspective, let's explore it together. So humiliation in the energy being. Now, when I was looking at shame, and I said, okay, shame is something that I would feel if I did something wrong. But humiliation comes from somebody outside. Somebody outside puts that finger on you to say, you are wrong and you don't know this or you don't know that, whatever it is. But somebody on the outside is actually putting that finger on you to say, or rather to degrade you, to bring you down, and to really, really hurt your ego. Humiliation. The one other thing that is part of humiliation, not so much of shame, because shame is something that I feel. I am feeling shame. So after humiliation, one would experience shame. But the one part of humiliation is that it is done in a forum, or it's done out there with somebody else being an audience. Somebody else being an audience. And so that is the part of humiliation which hurts the most. And so when we do get humiliated, what all energies are created from this humiliation? First of all, rage. We started with rage even in the last couple of webinars. And again, this is the word that came up. The rage might be expressed or unexpressed, but this is not just tiny bit of anger. This is a large, intense form of anger, which we term as rage. And so when somebody humiliates us in front of an audience, and that's when it counts probably as humiliation, then the first thing that we feel is actually pretty much a threat to our own identity, an attack on our identity, which is when, and it's almost like, somebody is questioning our existence, our intelligence, our just presence. So somebody is questioning that, and that too, they have already judged as to what we are or what we are not. And now they're basically just letting us know of that judgment. Yeah. So at that moment, retaliation might be possible, but most likely not. The word comes to mind, bully, right? So when a bully is bullying someone, the other person is feeling humiliation. A bully does that in front of others to put you down. You feel intense anger and hatred and rage. However, you are not in a position to come back in that moment. You are smaller than the other person in that place. You are not capable enough of coming back at them. And that is when you feel humiliated. having understood that all of these, when I talk about constantly, the work is within, the work is within, there is no other. There is no other. If we have to look at an extreme form of someone not just being there, but putting our identity into crisis, putting our existence into crisis by shaming us, by making us look so much smaller than what we think we are, than what we think we are. So if I think that I'm very good at something, and then somebody tells me that I'm so shitty, I'm so bad, I don't even exist in that space or whatever, then I would feel humiliated. If somebody tells me I am no good in a field where I'm still, I don't know, in a field where I'm still just learning, I haven't become a master, I don't have intentions of being a master, then when somebody says you are no good, it might not hurt that much. However, if there's an audience involved, it still might hurt. It still might hurt. And so that those are all the aspects of humiliation. So as we look, at the emotions underneath it, as we said, the first part that would come up is anger. Anger in the form of rage. But this rage would be suppressed. It is not something that is being expressed, it is suppressed. However, when we look at the energy terms, anger is anger. We think that we are suppressing it just because we are not speaking it, but in energy terms, are we growing that through the experience? Of course, absolutely. Is it becoming part of our energy field? Absolutely. Is it going to come in again and again to us? Absolutely. So, the first one being anger. The second, what we would feel, what we have also discussed in the last couple of times, helplessness. Helplessness because we feel we are not up to the mark of responding back to them. For whatever we think in our mind, they have a better position, they have more power, etc., etc. Whatever we think they have and we don't, from that space, we would feel a lot of helplessness. When we feel that helplessness, again, to be able to understand that it's simply a show, a drama, but in that space, when we are in that space of helplessness, the outside world is definitely not playing in our favor. The outside world is not giving us love. And so the place we are coming from, completely, absolutely, lack of self love. Lack of self love. And so, if you have ever felt humiliated in your life, yeah, the thing to do, and I have done that meditation with several of you at many times, but maybe we'll do it again. Everybody, please stay silent. Let's see who wants to talk. Somebody wants to talk? Okay, apparently not anymore. So, when we look at those instances of humiliation, we'll go through a tiny little meditation today. All of us have done those meditations before. They are the deeper release tool for looking into and releasing energies that we've been holding from a previous time. But when you have felt humiliation, and when we do go into those spaces, please note that these are the 3 or 4 places that you need to look at. The first being anger, the last being self-love, lack of self-love. The lack of self-love has played out in many places, in us not having friends, in us not having people who appreciate us They cannot, because we don't appreciate ourselves. And so it is played out in many places. But this, I would say, is the extreme of not looking within. Because not only has an outside manifested, but the outside has manifested in its worst form of telling us that we are no good, hurting our ego. The one more thing that we want to take into consideration is that when someone hurts our ego, our first reaction is, no, I'm much better than that. We want to take them on that. We do not want to agree to what they are saying. However, we have little choice. But are we feeling that they are just in saying what they are saying? No, as a matter of fact, we feel extreme injustice when we are being humiliated. We think that everything that the person is saying, why are they doing that to me, instead of what is it that I need to look into? Not even energy wise, but even otherwise, when somebody is humiliating us, our finger is squarely on them, blaming them, hating them, and wanting to take revenge from them. Revenge, frustration, all of this is part of this internal rage, that anger that is now manifesting. So, the one thing that we want to do as we begin to understand the energy, there is a tool that I teach, which I call the wholeness tool, in which the idea is not to deny what you are being accused of, but actually to be able to look at yourself as, are you that as well? Are you that as well? This is the starting point of bringing the finger within. When somebody calls you stupid and somebody says you are not good enough for anything, yeah, you stop in that moment and say, have I said this to myself? Do I think so of myself? Have there been instances where I have pretty much said the same thing to myself? Oh my God, I'm so stupid. I'm just not good enough for this. Have I said this to myself? If you have, then accept that you are on days that. On days. We are doing the wholeness tool. We are not any longer running away from the accusation. We are trying to see if that accusation, without the whole drama that has been set up for humiliation, but just looking at pure analytics of that statement, when we see or when we hear somebody humiliating us, take the bite out. Maybe not in that moment, it's not going to happen in that moment. But today, when you go back to that space, how somebody humiliated you, take the bite out of what they said, the tone that they said it in. That's the communication part that we will come to later. That will be addressed later. But just simply at the sentences that were spoken. And do you actually resonate with that? Because if you resonate with that, it's actually simply your reflection. It's your reflection speaking those words to you. If you think of yourself in those terms, if you are not thinking of yourself as good enough, then the outer world, this is an outer world, the outer world is simply going to reflect more of the same back at you. And so the finger now within, to be able to look within to see, do I think of myself as this? The second part of this, have I been in that space of humiliating someone? So have I not just been on this side? Have I been on the opposite side? Have I been on the opposite side? Have I been the bully? Have I been the humiliator at any point in time for anything? Ask in the universe where you have played that role, and something might come up. If nothing comes up, it's all right, because as I point out again and again. We've been there and done that. Maybe not necessarily in this life, but we've been there and done that. So if you can't come to that space of knowing that I've never humiliated anybody in my life, think a little bit harder, ask for the universe to help. You might have not even understood that you're humiliating, and yet you are. Yeah, there's an audience and you are degrading someone, then they would be feeling the humiliation. So now that you understand that you are the humiliated and the humiliator, you are both the bully and the one that is getting bullied. From that space, oneness and acceptance of your own self. From that space, oneness and acceptance of your own self. And the next part, and the most important part, you've thought things about yourself and somebody is saying it, but not only is somebody saying it, to you, but is saying it to you in the most degrading way possible. Only points towards how much you do not like yourself. We are talking about energy here. The finger cannot go out. The finger has to come within. What all aspects of yourself do you need to see to bring the finger back within? Lack of love for the self. Lack of love for the self. So the next time when somebody humiliates you and you're still sitting in that space, how can they do that? I'm not this way. These are the 3 steps to get to where you need to be. One is, have I ever spoken in the same way to myself? Have I ever been the humiliator? And the third, where all do I still need to give myself some more love? Anybody who is bringing you down, since there is no one else, it is only you that is bringing you down. As you begin to look at all of those spaces, and they might have nothing to do with this person, with this situation, nothing at all. And that is why I constantly remind all of you, when you are doing this work, be in guidance, because otherwise you will simply be looking very narrowly at this particular instance, that particular person. But energy work is not about this person. That person is an actor in the moment. But are you holding that energy at all in your energy field? If you're holding that energy in your energy field, somebody's got to show it to you. Right now it's them, tomorrow it might be somebody else. It's not about them, it's the role that your energy has given to them. Until the time the finger is pointed outside, the logical mind will be at work and you will not be able to recognize your own energies. Your own energies are the one that are creating this, are creating every aspect of our lives. What you will feel apart from helplessness, and we already kind of talked about it, is shame. But what you will also feel, fear. Especially in bullying, that happens a lot, that what you feel is extreme fear. Extreme fear you might feel because you are not able to answer back. And as you said, you are lesser. The easy answer to that, to be able to sit in again and again, to look at fear as a frequency. Fear is not, again, for that person, for that situation, for an event, for an authority. It's not towards an authority. Fear belongs to you. And so if you are sitting in extreme fear, the easy way out, fear is just a frequency. Just like helplessness is, just like anger is. So that is my evaluation, short, sweet, and yet I think I covered almost everything about humiliation. Does anybody have a question to ask? I see some stuff on the chat. Is it just... Does somebody want to speak to me and ask questions, or does somebody have something that you wish to write? Everyone good?
Uh, Hi, Ma.
Hi,
Sonal.
who's this?
Sonal.
Okay, hi, Sonal.
Hi. I just wanted, you mentioned about tone, na?
Yeah,
So can you elaborate on tone, please?
yeah. As a matter of fact, our communication, whether it's in the energies or whatever we bring up, the tone, our communication is actually mostly non-verbal, non-verbal. So, and there's a joke about this, right? Like, I mean, if your husband asks you, like, is anything wrong? And then you say no. Yeah. So it's not the word that you said. You said nothing is wrong. But what is actually indicating that something is very, very wrong? It's your tone. Your tone is carrying that anger while the word is saying, no, nothing is wrong. So the whole communication, and that's why I constantly remind people that no matter what your face says or doesn't say, the energy, even if it's like non-verbal communication, even if it's not that, even if the tone doesn't exist, even if complete silence exists, if your energy in that moment is anger, it is screaming out to everyone in the room. It is already screaming out. Okay. So, verbal communication, non-verbal communication, and energetic communication. So, people say verbal communication is some 10%, 20%, rest of it is non-verbal communication. But I say that even when there is no communication, the energy that you carry for the other and the energy that the other is throwing back at you, throwing back at you throwing back at you, reflecting back at you, belongs to you, and it's already in the room. So, if you're very angry and you're sitting very far away from the person that you're angry with, miles and miles, countries away, are they going to be able to receive that anger? Absolutely, because it's energy. Energy does not play in time, energy does not play in space. So when they come back and speak to you, whether it's on the phone, it's any which way else, they are speaking from the tone that they have received from your energy, and they have to reflect it back at you. So now, looking at the tone, if the tone is extremely rude and dry and rough, yeah, and you're feeling no love in the tone, the question to ask here would be A, what am I feeling? And you would be feeling hurt, and you would be feeling anger and frustration or whatever it is. You'd be feeling all of that. So, what am I feeling? And the second one is, what is this person reflecting back at me? Reflecting back. So, they are reflecting anger back at you, even through the tone, not just through verbal communication, but even through the tone. Why? Because there is anger in you that wants to play through them today. When you look at energies, verbal, non-verbal are all the same. It's only the energy that you hold that is getting reflected back. Are you able to still, are you able to put the finger
Yeah. Yes.
within here?
Yes.
It's so many different ways of communication. And yet, the energy underneath that is yours. The energy underneath everything that we do is ours, belongs here. That is where we are, that is the only time we can catch the creation and shift it. I can keep saying no, but that person did this and this person did that, and I will not be able to shift the creation because I cannot shift them. I cannot shift their energy because I'm not even recognizing that the energy belongs to me. It's not even theirs. It's not theirs. It is the energy that I hold towards myself that is getting reflected back at me. Yeah,
Thank you.
lovely. Anybody else wants to have a conversation? or something on the chat? Anybody put something on the chat? All good? Yep, all good. Okay. All right, then, let's do a little bit of meditation to work on this humiliation. Let's see how that goes. So take a deep breath in and exhale. I take energy from Meenal. I am Meenal. Putting ourselves in the frequencies of answers so that whatever we need to understand today, whatever we need to clear today, comes to us with ease and grace. Looking at the word humiliation, and putting the question out in the universe, give me an instance or two where I have been humiliated. An instance or two will come to mind. As you begin to look into those old instances, firstly, before we do anything, whoever was the bully, whoever was the one who humiliated you, thank them. Thank them for showing you your energies so that you could do this work within and be able to release them and to change the life, to change the incidences somewhat. We begin the process today. It might happen in one go, it might take a few times for you to process it. But simply beginning with thanking the person who humiliated you. I thank you for showing me the energies that I hold. And now, go into the scene. Go into the scene to observe what are you feeling. Ask yourself in that space, as you stand there being humiliated, what all emotions are coming to you. Anger, rage would definitely be one of them. Are you feeling some shame? Hate is part of the rage. A strong feeling that this is injustice happening to you, and therefore feeling helpless in that moment. Fearing the authority of that person, that they might ruin your life, your career, your relationships, whatever it might be. If you are feeling any of that, simply make a note of your feelings. To understand that all of these feelings that already were in your energy field have actually created that event outside. Your energies chose that actor to play out that role for you, but the energies belonged to you. the energy of lack of love, the energy of fear, the energy of helplessness, and this rage that you were carrying. Not necessary at all that you're carrying it from this life. In this life, you might be the most sweetest person around, and yet getting humiliated all the time, which simply implies that there is rage that you are carrying that is getting reflected from the outside. Putting the finger squarely on yourself. The actor who played the role, we have already thanked them. But now, simply looking at each of the frequencies to be able to say, these are the frequencies. I carried them. So what? It's just a frequency. Each of these frequencies is a choice for me to play that channel or not. And today, I am choosing, instead of helplessness, venal frequency. Instead of anger, masti frequency. Instead of fear, fearlessness. And instead of lack of love, I am choosing the frequency of abundance, abundance of love. I am choosing it in this moment. And the frequency might tune in again, but it's just a frequency. And so I can tune back again into these frequencies of masti and abundance and fearlessness with ease and grace. That power lies within because the frequencies belong in this moment to me. In this moment only. After all, it's just a frequency. So letting go of those frequencies with ease. And now we move into taking a look at ourselves as the humiliator, the one who has humiliated. So, again, reaching out to the universe to ask, show me one instance or another where I have humiliated people, knowingly or unknowingly. Show me an instance where someone has felt humiliated. You might be playing a role for that someone, just as someone played the role for you. So, as you look back at the times when you humiliated someone, now observe, what are you feeling in that moment, or maybe after that moment? Are you feeling proud, or are you feeling guilty? If you're feeling guilty, we can take a look at it and release it. If you're feeling happy and proud, stay with it. It's just a frequency. After humiliating someone, if you're feeling happy, note that that happiness is just a frequency. But in this moment, it comes from separation. It comes from separation. You put someone down, you feel good about yourself. It comes from separation between you and them. This polarity that you feel good, and then when someone humiliates you, you feel bad. Both ends of the experience are completing themselves. There is nothing more to it, but in a polar space as Earth, you get to experience this and you get to experience that. Looking at both of these instances where you are the humiliated one and you are the humiliator, both are simply experiences. Experiences created from your energy field. Simply experiences. They do not stick with us unless we keep going back to them. We keep going back to them to create more and more of the same. But now we are in the process of changing our frequency. So now coming into oneness, you humiliated and you were humiliated. So coming into oneness in this moment with the bully. Somebody bullied you and you are the bully too. You and them are in oneness, both playing in the same space of bullying. No separation. You've been there, done that. They've been there, done that. You both have the exact same experiences. Oneness with the bully. And oneness with the helpless person, the one who is being bullied. Somebody that you bullied, and then in moments where you yourself were bullied. Again, oneness in the experiences. You had the same exact experience as them. They gave you that role, you gave somebody else a role. You all completed your experiences. Take a deep breath in and let this sink in. I am the bullied and I am the bully. And both are simply stories. Stories that created experiences for me. But experiences are from frequencies, and I'm ready to change my frequencies. It is already happening. Through this process, it is already happening. You're able to see yourself as a much more expanded self, not just one bucket, but at the opposite end as well. And all of these experiences that our energy chose, our energy chose, and now you choose as the creator that you are. You choose one frequency alone, and that is LOVE, love. Love for the self. So in this moment, take a deep breath in, and I take energy from Meenal. I am Meenal. I accept all parts of me unconditionally. I accept all parts of me unconditionally. I am every bucket there is. I am lazy, I'm productive. I am good, I'm evil. I am the best and I am the worst. And I accept myself in every moment. I am a bundle of frequencies, so whatever my role be today, it will play. And whoever I have to be today, it will happen. And I am love through all of it. All my parts I accept unconditionally. I love unconditionally. I am love. Love is not something that I give or receive. I am that frequency. I am Shiva. Om Mani, Om Mani, Om Mani. Okay, everyone. Lots and lots of love to all of you as we move in. Hopefully, everybody has enjoyed this process of understanding themselves a little bit more. And hopefully, the finger has come back within a little bit more. Okay, everybody, lots of love. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Meena.